Alright then. Welcome then to another Total War Rome Remastered AI only campaign. I've already basically made 2 other playlists for like, AI only campaigns. And the difference between like, those ones and this one will just be like the difficulty again. The first one I obviously did on normal, next one I did on hard. And this one I'll be doing on very hard. Now, I'll note that for myself, I'm basically just coming off a win of like, the Scipii at this point. After, of course, getting like, the Brutii, long campaign win and the Julii one basically as well. Alright, so I want to know something about like, these AI only campaigns. Part of the reason I was basically doing these AI only campaigns was because a YouTuber named Melkor had basically like, stopped basically doing them. And, I figured like, I want to basically see this sort of content on YouTube because I was always basically like, fond of like these sort of ideas. I'll note that basically for like, the Julii playthrough I basically did, as well as like, both the other like, AI only campaigns.
The city of Travalis.
Basically, like, those were basically done before Melkor's phenomenal return recently. See, I'll note that basically, like, at this point, he's basically already posted, like, 7 basic videos in, like, the last 2 weeks. And basically, like, this is basically being done, like, after his return. He's already basically got, like, an AI-only campaign Medieval 2 over here. He basically did, like, a live stream, I think, of, like, Carthage. If you want to, like, check out some of his playthroughs, I guess. So, there's some of that right here. Alright, so I'm basically bringing this up because if there's basically like any sort of like, complaints about me, like, sort of like doing Melkor's thing, note that basically Melkor wasn't doing this for 2 years, and, I basically only started to, like, do these basically 2 years basically after he basically, like, left. And you're basically seeing these, like, essentially after he's basically started, but I basically started these long before, like, he came back. Though this one, of course, was started, like, after he came back. I basically always had planned basically do, like, free campaigns for, like, normal hard and very hard. See how basically goes my channel. And at least do, like, a couple, like, playthroughs of the game as well, but, alright, well, that's basically enough of, like, Melkor and, like, the background, basically, like, my playing here. Before I forget about it, let's just jump into the campaign for Scipii and obviously show off, like, what basically sort of happened, I guess. Because that's always fun. Alright, well, here we basically are in my, like, ending moments for, like, the Scipii campaign. I know for most parts this was, like, a fairly standard affair for, like, playing through the game. I basically went down to, of course, like, conquer, like, Sicily over here. Then I hit, like, Carthage over here real quick to basically finish him off. I basically went after, like, the immediate basically sort of nexus, so, like, basically, like, get rid of his for my side for the most part. And I also went after, like, Spain pretty quick as well. At some point, I basically jumped over here to, like, toward the east, basically to hit, like, Sparta, Corinth, Cydonia, and, like, Rhodes, basically get access to, like, these 2 wonders. And to sort of, like, impede the, like, the sort of, like, stampede of, like, the Brutii over here. I'll note that basically in this game, the Brutii basically did fairly well. They basically conquer, like, all these, like, summons over here that basically have up here. And, of course, all these summons basically up to here. I was thinking this might be the game where, like, I might try and, like, eliminate, like, the other 2 Roman factions, but after seeing, like, how big the, like, Brutii basically got, like, taking out, like, Scipii up here, and, like, Dacia and Thrace, I was like, nope, not gonna happen this time. The Julii also did sort of well as well, but, they basically only conquered, like, Northern Italy up here, and, like, a few more summons basically over here, so, I mean, it's better than usual for Julii, I guess. They're usually, like, locked in their, like, little, like, sphere of influence over here, but they didn't break out that far for the most part, as usual. I'll note, by the way, like, toward, like, the end, like, where it's basically like, getting close to the Civil War, obviously I hit up here towards, like, Britain to sort of, like, take my, like, last, like, need settlements to get up to, like, 27 or 28. After that, basically, where Civil War broke out, I sieged all, like, Italy over here, took, like, Greece basically up over here, and basically, like, took the settlements basically over here from, like, the Britons, and, like, basically sort of like held off like the the Julii basically over here because they haven't really advanced up yet, so I was like, I'll just hold them off, like, to sort of, like, keep them at bay until help you arrive from, like, Italy or Spain, or I just get my, like, win. As you can see on the map here, by the way, Egypt did pretty well over here. The Seleucids were existing still. Parthia did pretty well for his campaign because they have like all this like edge over here, and Armenia is like still alive. Scipii buckled to like the Brutii, I suppose, like Thrace and Dacia, so not really much about them. Germany is basically over here. They basically fought the Britons a little bit, but I sort of like came in from behind to take the summons, and that basically was sort of like the if for the Britons, so they couldn't really do much anymore. Although the diplomacy wise, and still technically at war with them, so I mean, enemies, all the Roman factions, the like Britons. Technically, I was also at war with like the Senate, but whatever. Now, something interesting to note about this campaign is I actually like played a Scipii, like to see like if I could get some like achievements basically out of the way. One of those achievements I basically wanted to get rid of, like that I basically like hadn't basically gotten in my first playthrough, was basically like patrician realness over here, where you basically have a merchant for a large town and like train purple dye. I didn't get that to Julii, so I was like figuring like I'll just try and get it myself, and of course want to get the victory of like Islands in the Stream. Technically, I also want to get Ink Hoots with the Hoots, but I technically just played a custom battle, sort of tons of elephants, and I basically got it that way, so it didn't really happen. Though I will note that basically in this campaign, I did manage to recruit at least one of these like war elephants. Never actually used it before I won the game, but I mean, I did like test it out a little bit just for, like see how they basically work. So got a little bit of, like knowledge base how they work, I guess. All right, so that's basically enough of this. Let's just get back to like creating the groundwork for like this AI only campaign. So much like before, how this basically works is I play with like the rebels, and if you want to basically like know how to basically unlock rebels, there's like it's a little bit basically me doing that in like the first like video of like the normal AI only campaign, normal difficulty AI only campaign. So you basically see how to unlock it from there. And basically for like the modifiers here, right now basically everything's basically on because that's basically how I have for like Scipii. And I think we're actually going to leave it just like this. So we're basically going to see like essentially like all the like the normal like remastered like changes basically being done here. We'll have merchants basically running around as much as there are like notions basically for me to like deal with. Diplomacy will be like changed any turn. This will turn off. You're not really gonna like notice any difference in that really. So just get rid of that. All right, well, let's get to it, I guess, shall we? And yeah, I'll note that the difference between like this and the other like 2 AI only campaigns is that this is going to be a very hard campaign difficulty. So we'll see if it basically like changes basically the outcome at all, or like what it basically does really for like the AI here. I'll note by the way like the normal like Imperial campaign, none of the factions actually won that one because they weren't really aggressive enough. The Brutii did actually win a hard one, and they actually had a civil war of like both Julii and the Scipii, so there's that. Anyhow, let's start the campaign and we'll start rambling and let's get to it. Alright, so here we are basically on the campaign map. And we're basically the rebels, and here's Tara of course, but whatever. Let's see here, we'll go to the console commands here, and we'll take, toggle war. Alright, so, to give you sort of like the rundown basically how this works, basically we're not actually playing the game here. Anytime I basically get a battle of like with like the other like factions attacking the rebel AI here, I'll resolve the battle, and I'm not really basically doing anything with the rebels either. So if I have like ships that get spawned, I'm just gonna like leave them basically where they are. They're not gonna move around and attack people, so none of that's basically gonna happen. And we're just gonna see how the AI basically performs for the most part. Who's gonna do well? Who's gonna suffer? Let's see what very hard difficulty will basically do for us. And of course, we'll see Julii attack and kill Segesta. So that's basically what I do. Just gonna march in and take Segesta there. Now, I'm probably gonna like go about 50 or so turns I think before like anything basically happens here. So like we're not basically wasting time, but if something basically happens, I think is like interesting. I'll at least try and show it to you guys. Like I'm not gonna basically go like turn by turn or anything like I did like the first day I went for normal like difficulty, but I'll give you updates if I think like they're relevant. Basically, is the idea. So I'll get to that. Alright, well, it's probably a little bit early to be sort of like, noticing it, but, yeah, basically the Scipii have already gone after, like, Carthage over here. Which is kind of interesting because usually you think they go after Greeks first, but nope, they went after Carthage over here, so... Not sure if it's going to basically do anything, but, I figured I'd mention it, because, it's always fun to see, like, what factions they go after each other and stuff like that. Alright, well, took about 15 turns for it to happen, but we have our first like real war besides like these like Carthage nonsense over here. It looks like Armenia is basically going after like Prespa from the Parthians over here. So we'll see how it basically pans out for the Armenians because that might leave them a little bit open over here to like talk to the Scythians or of course even from Pontus of course as always. I'll note by as well like the Julii basically came over here to take Corrales. And apparently the Carthaginians are dropping some troops over here to try and maybe take it back. And yeah, they still hold like, their spot here on like, the western edge of like, Sicily. And Spain took Cordoba, by the way, so... Okay, so yeah, I'll note that basically like, these are like, Carthage nonsense. Basically everyone attacks like, Carthage in the beginning because they're so spread out. Spain usually attacks them, or they attack Gaul, they attack, like, them first, basically, this time around. Well, let's just keep going, and we'll see, like, what's gonna happen is basically slowly get rid of all these, like, last little, like, rebel summons, basically, still on the map. I believe it's, like, of course, the Amazon right there. There's, that one right there. The Crete rebels, of course, over here, and, of course, Lycia over here. On the by the way, the British actually took like Terror over here by the way, and this is actually something like I want to basically point out. I sort of messed up here with like Terror because usually what I basically do in like their like playthroughs is that like when I basically like get attacked in like these summons and like the siege winds down to like the last turn, I usually sally out to basically like attack like weakened armies or basically attack me. This time I just let them like siege me to death because like I have Rabat. I might actually do that for like the rest of it as well because it's not really that important. I don't think if I basically like, fight these battles, but whatever. Just want to throw it out there. Let's keep going then. Ah yes, here we go. So it looks like the Brutii managed to attack the, like the Greeks over here. So that's of course kicking off. And as I sort of like surmised, basically this leaves them open to be attacked by like the Scythians or the Pontus. So the Scythians have like, come down here to attack like coates of like the Armenians. And they're still attacking over here in Fraspa, so we'll see how it basically goes for them. And they're also attacking over here in Arsacia. It might be interesting to see these guys like migrate all the way over here, but probably not beneficial to lose this summit over here because it's basically on like the Mediterranean coast, so to speak. All right, well. Nothing's happening over here. Big army right there. Big army right there. With like both these big armies right here, we might see the Greeks actually attack like, Messenia or something like that. Who knows? Alright, well, for most part, I think the rebel summons have been more or less taken. And now the war's really starting to break out. You'll note that basically down here, the Armenians basically lost CY over here in Libya. That's, not exactly like anything I haven't seen before, but, also basically note that's basically like a bit of land change right there. I think it's basically the only real main land change at this point as well, by the way, because like nothing changed basically up here. Like Parthia is still like controlling over here, Armenia is still controlling over here. I'll note that basically down here we have a bunch of wars breaking up between Macedon and Greeks and like Brutii and Greeks, so that's happening. The Thrace are also attacking like up here in Macedon. Over in this direction we have like the Brits attacking like the Gauls. And we have the Julii and the Gauls basically attacking each other over here in like northern Italy. So stuff's starting to break out, but nothing's really changed hands really, so to speak. Like majorly just yet. And as always, Pontus basically attacks Armenia at some point. So, how long they'll basically be in the game, I don't know, but, you know, they're under attack. Now, this isn't the main reason I actually, like, you know, paused the, like, you know, recording at this point. I want to note that basically usually in, like, this game, the Seleucids always come over here to Helicarnassus at some point to try and attack it. Basically, it's got that wonder, right? So, you know, that's always, like, a boon basically to get. It does have fairly adequate defenses, though, to sort of hold itself. So, you know, we got ourselves Rhodian Slingers, we got ourselves Cretan Archers, Peltis, regular Hoplites, Militia Hoplites. But they actually brought, like, you know, almost a full stack here sort of to attack it. So, I'm wondering how well they're basically going to do. And, yeah, chaos is basically happening, like, you know, here, there, and everywhere still. So, well, I guess we'll note that basically the Gauls lost their capital. That happened. Okay, well, this is again another fairly quick pause, like, you know, soon after basically like the other like turns, but I rarely see like, you know, anything attack like, you know, down here. And to see a Gaulish army basically attacking Russia in the capital of the Julii, that just seems special. They've already taken Segesta, by the way, so maybe the Julii might get wiped out over here. And then they'll be stuck over here in, like, you know, Corrales. And, you know, note they basically have their big army basically over here, so they do have an army, it's just like, you know, it's in the wrong place right now, so to speak. I had to basically show it off. Macedonian Sparta. Now, I'm not sure, but I believe, like, you know, the Macedonians technically have like a hoplite type of unit. So I'm wondering like if they can actually recruit that basically from like Sparta, or if it's just like, you know, something that's like, you know, in the in-game files that, like, you know, never really gets used. The Greeks are not doing quite well over here because, like, you know, they're being attacked by like Macedon over here in Firmon, and they lost Sparta. I'll note that the, you know, the Thrace did take over here in, you know, Thessalonica, but I mean, that's Thrace. Who really cares about Thrace? They take one summit, okay. They took Sparta. And I hope I always felt that Patavimo over here for the Julii base was taken, so they took that. But will they hold their capital is the other thing. I mean, Pavia is important, but, you know, this is also important. I completely missed this. Damascus has fallen to the Seleucids. Jerusalem has fallen to the Seleucids. Sidon is about to fall to the Seleucids. The Egyptians are getting, like, you know, curse stomped over here. Completely missed this. I kind of wonder how long they've been at war, because, I wasn't really paying attention to, like, you know, war being declared anywhere. There's, like, you know, war between Gauls and them. Forcing them. No idea when this basically happened, but yeah. Basically, the Egyptians are losing quite a few sons to the Seleucids, of all people. I mean, I've seen the Seleucids basically get strong, like, you know, several times in, like, you know, the other, like, you know, playthroughs, and, you know, also note that, like, you know, Armenia's probably about to die here to, like, you know, the Scythians and, like, the Pontus, so might see our first faction destroyed. But yeah, chaos in the Middle East, as always. Alright, well, there it is. First faction destroys Armenia. And it looks like the Scythians were the one basically to do it, so will we see the Scythians basically be, like, you know, the faction allies again? Like they were in, like, you know, the hard difficulty, I think, one? Or maybe it's normal, I can't really remember. And yeah, these guys are at war, you know, blah blah. I'll note that the Greeks are not having a nice time. They're under attack by the Brutii, they're under attack by, like, you know, the Macedons. Thrace is still up here attacking, like, you know, Macedon up here, so at some point they'll have to turn their attention to it, but, you know, dealing with the Greeks is, like, still a challenging task nonetheless. By the way, the Gaul were actually attacking, like, up here in Alesia. They're still, like, you know, battling these guys a little bit. Like, they got, like, an army over here to, like, you know, attack with, so we might see some, like, more, someone's place change hand here for, like, you know, the British, or, like, you know, the Gauls. They seem to have settled down over here, though, for the most part, unfortunately. It'd be nice to see, like, you know, Gaulish Upper Italy for a little bit, you know? Oh well. It'd be nice if these guys actually did something over here. I mean, they got, like, a full stack to, you know, Carthaginians over here. That could easily wipe out Messenia if they want to. And look at this, by the way.
Ready! Ready to sail!
That's a lot of ships right in front of like the port right there.
Ships ready!
They have some issues, the Scipii. You know, I have to say, Thrace is doing a lot better than I expected them to be. They've taken Bilazoria up here. They've taken, like, you know, Lysuria up here. Macedon's basically kicked down to, like, you know, the southern tip of, like, you know, Greece over here. And, of course, the Brutii are still attacking, like, you know, Firmin over here, so that's happening. There's that big Greek army racing around over here. Seleucid's doing pretty well over here still. They're taking Sidon. And who knows, maybe they'll come down here to attack, like, you know, Lower Egypt at some point and Upper Egypt and all that stuff. They seem very intent on trying to take, you know, this island right here, of course. Brought in our army to actually attack with. I'm not sure what happened to, like, the first one, but, you know, never actually, like, sieged us out, so it must have ran away from it for some reason. I don't know why it's there, it just is, so. Egypt, what are you doing? Well, there's some Armenian stuff, I guess, right here. Leftovers. I should probably note, by the way, Dace is kind of interesting as well. They basically took all the rebels and stones, like, you know, they usually do over here, but they got all the way over here to, like, you know, Ivuum. So, they might mix it up at some point with, like, you know, the Romans at some point, or they got an army right here, they might come down to, like, you know, start, like, beating up the people over here, like Thrace, which would be interesting. Carthage are gonna do anything, I don't know. Be nice if you did, though. Kinda same with Julii, but, you know, at least the Gauls are attacking him. They got another big army over here as well. You know, I always like this to point out. Peloponnesus is under attack. Here's what they got. Now they got some peasants in here. They have some scythe chariots. They've got a whole lot of, like, militia hoplites. They got a general called Alexandra, because they all are basically named Alexander. And then over here, we've got, you know, this stuff over here. I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna you know, win, but we'll see what type of damage they can do. Oh wow, they actually did win. Numbers prevailed. So Helicarnassus has actually fallen there. That's nice to see for the Seleucids. And yes, as, like, you know, we go through these turns, my mercenaries keep getting bought out. I'm just gonna wait till the end of the turn. We'll show off, like, what the Gauls are doing, because the Gauls are being interesting in a way. They're basically getting their backside hit by the Britons, but, you know, they're still attacking, like, the Julii. Looks like Macedon's starting to attack back Thrace over there as well, because, you know, want to take back their cities, I guess. So, yet again, Russian is basically under attack by, like, the Gauls. They've also got their, you know, relief army basically up here attacking Patavium, so they might take back to Selant, take this one, maybe move on to Rhenium, or even Rome. That'd be awesome to see. Down here, nothing's really happening. Or here, because, like, you know, they're sort of in a standstill. The Britons took, like, you know, Condeti Rhodanum over here, so that basically happened. But the Gauls still have, like, you know, some big army space over here, sort of, like, you know, push back perhaps as well. Or lose Lebanon, maybe that'll happen as well. I got a general over here. How nice. I kind of wonder what Spain's going to be doing, by the way, because they have, like, a big stack over here. Oh, that's what they're doing. They're attacking Gaul up here, finally. So good job, Spain. You're joining into the fray. Yep, there we go. They declared war. And apparently over here we have, like, the Scythians attacking Thrace, because, you know, they left themselves open. I like how Dace has got his troops going this way now, by the way. They were coming down here, but they're going to go up this way, I guess, at this point. These guys are still technically at war, but they sort of, like, you know, dwindled off a little bit, I guess. For whatever reasons. And Greece, like, you know, they attack Athens, they stop attacking Athens. They attack Athens, they stop attacking Athens. They still have Firmon, apparently. Interesting. Remember an army of a general based unit in the Gaul? It's about to stop existing. Goodbye. So that happened. There were some peasants as well. And there we go. It finally happened. Oretrium and Patavium have basically both fallen to the Gauls. We might actually see the Gauls actually moving to northern Italy. While, like, you know, they're of course being attacked over here in, like, you know, southern, like, France, like, over here in, like, northern France. Fun times for them, I guess. It would be interesting to see them take Rome, though, by the way, because these are actually nice cities over here to take. I mean, these aren't bad cities, but, you know, these are Roman cities. They're awesome. And they're probably not developed completely either. And the Plague of Macedon is basically in effect, and guess what? Macedon isn't in Macedon anymore, so Thrace is actually going to be the one suffering from this problem. Alright, well, I don't really see any changes on the map just yet, so I mean, they're under attack, of course, by, like, you know, the Scythians up here, and they're under attack by, like, you know, Plague up here, and Burma's under attack by Macedon over here. Ooh, Athens fell. Congrats, Greeks took, like, you know, Athens back. Or, for the first time, rather, I guess, because Macedon took it first. Meh. It's nothing really special, but I wanted to note that the Scipii are actually moving out to attack Syracuse over here. And Rhodes is looking very empty at this point, so I wonder what the Greeks basically are sort of planning to do, because they are sort of defending themselves against, like, you know, the Macedons over here, I guess, trying to hold on to, like, you know, what they can in Greece. Also got an army over here in Pergamum, so maybe we might see another campaign where they sort of, like, you know, move to Anatolia, perhaps. Carfax, are you gonna do anything? Like, this would be the perfect time for them to move on to attack, like, the Scipii, while, like, you know, the Syracuse basically are, like, you know, being a good distraction. But who knows? Alright, this I had to show. Their last city on Italy here, under attack by this big Gaulish army. If they take that and wipe out the rest of the Julii over here, that'll be it over here. All their, like, you know, armies basically on, like, you know, Corellis, just trying to, like, hold just, like, little summit against, like, the, you know, the Carthaginians. Maybe the Carthaginians might do something over here, but they seem more invested in, like, you know, Corellis for some reasons, because why not? And, you know, alliances are breaking, alliances are being made. Lovely, lovely. Spain's attacking here, British are attacking here. You know, fun times. There's a Gaulish army right here, I guess, and over here, but, that's a lot of forces to sort of, like, you know, abandon France with, but whatever. Gallic Northern Italy, people. I kind of figured I'd basically note this, that, yep, Germania found the, Amazons. Gonna suck for them. 24 kills. And already back. Lucky them. You know, it's always a question of when, like, you know, Pontus and the, Seleucid Empire go to war. But, here on, like, you know, turn 33, here they come. I'm not sure if, like, you know, the Seleucids are too strong for them to basically fight at this point, but, well, I don't think, you know, Egypt's gonna be, like, you know, much of an issue basically sort of, like, holding them back. This might be a bad gamble for the Pontus. And this is still under attack over here, of course, because, like, you know, why not? Though Julii have come over here to Patavium. And there's these big armies right here. They're going after, like, you know, Rome at some point. While they basically, you know, abandon all these sons over here to their own fate. That's under attack. And of course, chaos down here. So, Greeks are attacking, like, Corinth. Macedon's attacking Athens. Brutii are attacking Vermon. Lovely, lovely fun over here. Good job the phrase by the way as well, because they took like all these summons by themselves. With little issue. Alright, well, I feel I have to basically end it right here. But at least we're ending on like a very like interesting note. All of like the Julii temple cities that basically are like their starting positions over here, they've fallen. And even though like the Julii are trying to take Patavium basically back, I basically consider it just be like a fuel Gaelic victory. They basically took out their main menace here for the most part. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, the British are probably still pretty much the biggest menace, but if they lost all these summons in this game, like Eretrium, Rhenium, kept Patavium, and like Menolinum, and maybe took Rome, that'd be such an awesome win basically for them. Because these are all better summons I think to like hold in the long run. Like Minor City right there, Minor City right there, Minor City right there, Minor City right there, Large Town. These are all like large town, large town, large town, large town. That one's a Minor City, but I mean, Alessia. One like Minor City basically over in this area. I thought it'd be sort of interesting for as well, by the way, that apparently the Egyptians are attacking the the Seleucids over here in Helicarnassus, because why not? And over here, of course, Bostra fell. They're still next to Petra, because why not? Maybe they'll attack at some point. And of course, Pontus is attacking up here in Hatra, because that's a thing as well. But yes, we'll end up basically here. There might be some interesting developments to basically see in the future, but for now, hope you guys basically enjoyed this first episode of like the very hard AI only campaign, and take care.